Jordi, after this one, what did you walk into that locker room and just say to your players and to your staff?
That I was proud of them for the season we've had, the work they put in, the good intentions they've had, what we've built so far, and we gotta keep moving on and keep working. And I was very, very happy for the guys. Obviously, wanted to win that game, but couldn't make it happen.
You mentioned about how fun rivalry games. There were so many different moments that where both teams would go on runs. Just what was your main takeaway with how your team tried to stay in this one and fight it out throughout the end?
Yeah, 31 points of turnovers. We go back to turnover too much, but the nature of the turnovers, they lead into easy baskets, and it's really hard to win games. Obviously, we competed all the way through, but 31-12, we scored 12 points of their turnovers to our 31. So it's hard to win basketball games when that happens, and obviously we all learn from it.
You say you'll all learn from it, and you always talk about getting 1% better. The players getting 1% better every day. I'm curious, now that your first season is in the books, I don't know if you've had time to reflect on it, but what are ways that you, as a coach, want to get better, or things that maybe, I don't know, surprised you in your first season in the big chair?
It's a good question. I think the main thing is managing a big group of people. But we'll reflect on the season probably tomorrow. You guys will have questions for me and Sean, but very happy with the season. I've learned a lot, and I'm, going to show up next year and on through the summer and keep learning. And that's how it works. Coaching all these games gives you experience, and I think just makes you a better coach. So I'm very happy with what I've learned, things that I expected, things that I didn't expect. Like I said before, the support that I have from the coaching staff, front office, ownership, the players, I think that also made me a better coach, and that having that positive energy to, show up next day and next day and next day and help them get better.
Was Nick, the rest of the starters played in the fourth quarter. Was Nick not playing because you wanted to, put Drew Timme in that situation, or was it, game flow?
Yeah, I wanted to see Drew in the fourth quarter.
Jalen, you guys fought and went back and forth against this Knicks team. Just what was the biggest difference maker in today's matchup?
I think you said it, just fighting, competing. There was a point in time where we was up a little bit, and then we got down, and just playing the right way of basketball no matter what's going on. I think that was the biggest thing for us to focus on all season, just playing the way that we know how to play with grit, and I think tonight we showed that as well.
The three-point shot has been working for you in these last couple of games, and you did it again tonight with 5. Just what is it, and kind of what's opened up for you, and what have you made of the last couple of games where you just kind of been able to continue to find that rhythm?
Just being confident, understanding what we all are trying to do. We're trying to put up a lot of threes, and just want to be a confident shooter. And I know that's what the team needs. Everyone has to be ready to shoot, and when the opportunity is there. So just trying to do his best for the team by shooting.
You had the no-dip 3 there in the corner as well. Do you feel like that's a shot you had at the start of the year, or do you feel like that's kind of come along for you?
I've been playing around with it in warm-ups, but I hadn't got one all year. So it's kind of cool that it came the last game of the season. But I've been practicing a little bit.
Overall, just you've gotten to play a ton. I think you led the team in minutes. It was either you or Keon. But, being able to get all of these minutes, where do you feel like you've grown the most within your game?
Probably just my feel for the game. I think the game slowed down a lot game by game this year, and just came with getting reps, came with starting the summer off the right way, then going into the season and just taking advantage of every opportunity. No matter how many minutes it was a game, just being prepared and being ready. And I think, just growing and learning more about the game is something that I can continue to do. And I was very blessed this year to have this opportunity and to keep growing going into next season.
Is there anything you changed about your shot, whether from the last summer, or mid-season? Any mechanical tweaks that you made?
I don't know if it's a particular thing I changed. I just by talking with coaches, and we as a team, wanted to just put up a lot of threes. And, there were times I would turn down shots, and I just decided I'm just going to shoot when I'm open, shoot when I need to. And I think with just getting the shots up, you gain more confidence. You see a couple go in, and now you get on a roll. So I think that's all it really was.
You had 2 coaches last year and obviously whole new staff, Jordi, this year. Just what was your biggest takeaway from the way that this staff kind of approached the day-to-day and the way that they want you guys to play?
Just the attention to detail every single day. Jordi said it day one, get 1% better every single day. And I think that you just saw it, through the summer, through the season. We just collectively came together more and more with our effort, with our grit. And, we're not going to win every single game, but I think every single game we showed how we can compete. And I think that that's something that Jordi brought to the table since day one, was how hard can we play and can we be consistent with that every single night.
Tyrese, at halftime, you told me about cleaning up the turnovers was going to be important. Just how did the turnovers impact this game, and what made it difficult to, just get around their defense?
Well, I was the main culprit of that, probably in transition, turning the ball over, things like that. So I got to be better, starting on the ball. But, turnovers did impact this game. I feel like we take care of the ball and shoot more threes. We come out with that W tonight.
For you, you were able to find some offensive rhythm. Was there anything that you read from their defense that allowed you to kind of get to your spots?
Just, going under in the pick and roll, no rim protection down there. So just being comfortable, not sped up, and just getting to the rim, and then that opened up other stuff for me too.
How is it just to play in game number 82 and to wrap up this regular season?
It's definitely good. My body definitely feels it. First time, I played this many games in my professional career, especially at this level. So definitely grateful and appreciative of it. But yeah, I definitely feel it. So, but take a couple weeks off, and then I get back to it and anticipate having another great season.
What was your main takeaway from the way that Jordi and his staff approached this season and the way that they were trying to get you guys to play on the court?
Just going out there and being the most physical team, basically not trying to go out there and let anybody punk us. Just trying to set the tone, the type of coach he is. He demands, excellence from almost everyone, and he holds everybody to the same standard. So I feel like they do a great job of holding people accountable. And so just going out there, he wasn't really worried about the wins and the losses, just, how we competed every night. And I feel like if that's all he's asking for, no matter if you play 2 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if you go out there and just complete and play hard, it'll trickle on to the rest of the guys also.
Jordi talks about often how the season doesn't end after game 82. So now that we're here, I guess I'm just wondering, what does that look like for you? Is there anything specific that you want to improve on in your game in the coming off season?
Just, staying consistent as a shooter. You definitely got to shoot the ball consistently. Just play in this league. And then, obviously I started playing on the ball towards the middle of the season. So getting better at that, being more comfortable with reads and defenses and handling the ball under pressure, stuff like that is probably playing off 2 feet, probably my biggest, off-season focal points this year.
From the start of training camp to now, this has been a year of milestones for you. You talked about what you needed to improve on the offseason. As you go into next season, what's the main thing you want to achieve? Is it being, a bona fide starter on the roster, or what type of goals do you see for yourself for next season?
Basketball-wise, I really haven't thought about that. The season just ended a couple minutes ago. But I definitely want to, become one of the leaders on the team. I've played probably one of the least amount of NBA games on this team coming into the season. But if you look at our roster now, I'm probably the 3rd oldest guy on this team. So I played a lot of basketball still. And I feel like using my voice, I feel like I see the game well. Coach trusts me to use my voice too, and the guys kind of listen to me. So I think I just want to step into be more comfortable being a leader you know, whether it's with the second unit, the young guys coming in, et cetera, things like that. I feel like that's something I could definitely, you know, grow and excel in going forward.
Tyrese, like you said, season just ended, but kind of how memorable will this season be for you? Just thinking back to all of the moments that did happen, Phoenix, you know, other big moments that you've had. How memorable will this be for you? Kind of thinking that this really big one in your basketball career.
I feel like it's very memorable. I was probably this summer was probably like on my way out of, you know, my NBA career, if you think about it. Then I just, you know, stood with the grind, and, you know, the work started showing in games, and I got an opportunity. You know, they say you just need one coach to believe in you, and I feel like, you know, Jordi was that guy for me and gave me a chance, and I feel like I held on my end to doing everything he asked for. And then the trust just grew larger and larger, you know, all the way through game 82. And I'm grateful for that. And yeah, my first NBA season that I feel like I played a lot and had a major role and a effect on games. It's definitely going to be one I remember for sure.
You mentioned the coaching staff. You know, you obviously got to handle the ball a lot. You pretty much free range to kind of shoot whenever. Like, how important was it the confidence that was kind of instilled into you and the responsibility that was given to you pretty early on?
It was great, you know, like I said, when you come from, you know, a situation to where I was, you think about it, probably a year ago today, you know, I was playing in the G League, season was over, and didn't know my plans going forward. I wasn't signed, had no summer league team I was playing on. I didn't know where I was going, you know, but you look back a year later, I'm finishing, you know, starting a game, NBA game with 20 points, game 82. So, you know, things just come full circle, and you just stick with the work. And when the coach instill confidence in you like that, I mean, it shows.